It's already started. Well, it hasn't started. Hey there, bestie. We got eyes on the prize. Okay. So ain't no intro. We on it. We waiting. Lori Lightfoot is in the building. She has been spotted. They are in the wherever they have what is it called? Let me mute this real quick. Wherever they have tea with the trustees, that's where they are. There's Regina, what's her name? From Chicago 5 or something like that. Oh, look at that. They got some people in there. Hopefully there'll be some more people showing up. This is what everybody been waiting for. Let me know that you can hear me. Shout out to everybody who is here. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new, because y'all already know it's going to be a mess. Hopefully y'all got something to drink. Hopefully y'all got I got a whole glass of wine. Shout out to Dr. G. I got a whole glass filled to the rim with wine, child. We ready. We ready. We ready. I can't believe we're doing this again, child. Second time this daggone week, child. I'm ready for it, though. Lori is in the building with her same outfit on, it looks like. No shade, no shade. I'm just making notice, all right? This is where the woman in purple made her, whatever you want to call it, okay? The Dalton trustees, they're going to open up, but they not going to open up until later. This is Reality TV Chicago. Shout out to him. Shout out to Reality TV Chicago, who is in there doing the damn thing. Let me go ahead and shout out my girl. Let me find it. Oh, you're over here. Shout out to everybody who is here. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Shout out to Almond Eyes. Appreciate you, hun. She said, hey, y'all, this is going to be good, child. This is going to be good, child. Listen, long as the audio works, child. Long as the audio works, it should be good. You know how the mics work in Dalton. Y'all know how the mics work in Dalton. Shout out to 208 people between both channels. If you are not subscribed to both, please make sure you go ahead and take a second to do so. Shout out to CIP. Excuse me. Shout out to Supreme 10, Big Frank. We in here. Sil Robinson, Peaches. Hey, Peaches. Red Sigma's up in here. Uh-oh. Hey, Celine. Hey, girl. How you doing, girl? Not my baby. I see you, hon. I appreciate you. Something smooth. I hope the township look at the bigger picture and not look at who they like, but to stand for the betterment of the community. I agree with you. So I'll talk about that. Maybe not today, maybe on the weekend, because there's some things, child, out there that I just feel like people want to ignore and, you know, just go with who they like or because they black. Shout out to you coloreds, though. Everyone that is here, but shout out to you, coloreds, child. What's going on with Kamala, child? Because I've been ignoring her. Shout out to TJ up in here. Dr. G, I thank you. I appreciate you. Who I missed? Y'all rolling with the chat, child. Copper Rain, thank you so much for being here. I see you. Our girl is here. Shout out to Lisa. I appreciate you. Mark Springer, I see you, hon. A lot of these content podcasters are going to go for making a lot of money at this moment to zero. Because I can guarantee you the people that are watching, only a very few will get a crowd back. That's usually how it is. That's okay. All good in the hood. Those that like what they hear can stay. And those that don't, please feel free to leave. We are not offended. I promise you. I promise you. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Skinny Boy 20 Boy. I see you. I appreciate you. Troll Extraordinaire, 1 of 3. C. Denise, I see you. Gloria up in here. Super Patriot. Bob Long, I see you. I appreciate you. Rodney, shout out to Rodney. Shout out to Sisodi. I see you. I appreciate you. That damn Karen is up in here. Damn Karen. She is here, child. Shout out to Rodney if I missed you. Shout out to Dr. G. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Don't listen to him, child. Don't listen to him. MB Burke. That's all right. Ain't nothing started. We ahead of the game. You see, this is the room. This is the room that they have tea with the trustees in. I forget. Maybe this is the place where the playground is out back, you know, and Big Tiff want to find the man because he put mulch down. Child, some of the most ridiculous stuff. Shout out to the roving reporter, Mama Gemini is up in here. I see you. I appreciate you. I can dig it, baby. These are the days of I love that. These are the days of our lives. That makes me think of Friends. For those that know, you know. There she is. You see her. You see her, child. She getting ready. She ready. We ready. We ready. Hopefully this ain't no 4-hour stream like the other night, y'all. But that's okay. I got my wine, child. Got my wine, child. Let me take a sip. Next time that they have adult meeting, I really think that we should have a drinking game. Every time Big Tiff says as it relates to, I think we should take a sip. We got to think about that. Michael said dinner and now the show. I already ate, cleaned everything up, washed clothes, folded clothes. I'm ready. And tomorrow is Friday. TGIF in advance, y'all. Okay. Woo, let's go. Let's see who Rainbow Kid is up in here. I see you. I appreciate you. MB Burke, if I missed you, I apologize. Tracy is here. I see you, girl. Shout out to you, hun. Death Dare Up Aper. Child, apologies if I got that wrong. Shout out to Medic. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Dr. G. Always support me. Thank you so much. So generous of you as always, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you as always. Thank you so much, child. I just feel like let's just go ahead and say thank you, child.
David said, get out of my way, because I'm about to bust a move. And David dance, come on. And David dance.
That's me dancing for the money, child. Shout out to you, hon. I appreciate you. Thank you so much as always. Appreciate your support. Shout out to Prince Elian up in here. He said this should be entertaining. I have my scotch on deck, child. Shout out to whoever has a drink. Let us know what y'all drinking. If you're drinking, let us know what you're drinking in the chat. Shout out to Christopher Oliver. Shout out to Celine. Poor Celine. She said I paid $5.19 for butter, child. That butter would have sat there. But child, you white. You got it, child. Shout out to our favorite snow bunny, Celine, one of our very many favorite snow bunnies up in here. Shout out to Daniel. Crime is down. I see you, hun. I appreciate it. There it is. Shout out to Daniel Cunningham. I see you, hun. Thank you so much. Shout out to Luke Hazley in the building. Thank you so much, hun. I appreciate your support. She said all politics is local. Pay attention to our local elections. Yes. I don't know if they're doing that from the things that I've been reading. I don't know. Good luck to Dalton, to Thornton Township, child. Kofi, shout out to you. I see you. I appreciate you. H Spag is up in here. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are in here. I appreciate you. Wanda, I see you, hon. Shout out to you. Mashia. Shout out to you, hon. You know Big Tiff is watching, child. There's no doubt in my mind Big Tiff is watching. Big Tiff, if you're watching right here, girl, just holler at me, child. I'll be glad to bring you on. I promise it won't be nothing got you. I'm going to ask you some questions, child, but it won't be nothing got you, all right? Holler at me, Big Tiff. Send your people to holler at me. We can schedule something. Not a problem. I'll be all good with it, child. I ain't got nothing to lose. Listen. I got no stake in this game. Holla at me, child. Let me see. JP6, I see you. I appreciate you. Super Patriot, if I missed you, I apologize. Thank you so much. Keefus is here. This place needs to be packed. You know what? You are absolutely right. Okay, it's packing. I see some empty seats, but it should be standing room only, in my opinion. It should be standing room only, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see if they start on time. If they do, we should be starting in 3 minutes. Shout out to Lee Hamilton. I see you. I appreciate you, hun. Will, whoops, I can't get it. Will, that's our church section, child. That's the church section. Okay. Shout out to you, hun. I appreciate you. I think I got most of you. Ricky Williams, I see you, hun. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to CDT Beats. Haven't seen you in a while, hun. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Tracy. I see you, hun. I appreciate you. Lacey's Pup. Is it Lacey's Pup? Like Lacey over here? Or just it happened to be Lacey? Child, let me know. No tea, no shade. Everybody is welcome here, unless you act half damn crazy, even though we be crazy. Trust me, we crazy over here. Shout out to Dance Dance. All right, come on, Dance Dance. Keefe said he drinking Old Ripple. Child. Shout out to Fred Sanford. If you know, you know. Bibby Babies. Come on, Bibby Babies, if I said that right. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Janet. Shout out to Janet up in here. My girl Mona. Hey, Mona. Always good to see you, hon. Can't hide. Ain't no hiding around here. We gonna look at all the cameras, child. The people are here. Not the people, but the news people. I mean, they are here. Shout out to them, and shout out again to Reality TV Chicago. Two-Tone. Hey, Two-Tone. Who else do we know? But Mr. and Mrs. Paul, we see you. Who else we know up in here, child? Who else can we see? I know that lady standing up to the right with the short hair, but I can't think of her name. If y'all know, let me know. I think that's all the people I can see right now that I recognize. If y'all recognize anybody, let us know. We need to know who up in here. Shout out to my girl. That is correct. We are a judgment zone over here. Please do not come with weak feelings because you're going to be disappointed, okay? Shout out to Malcolm. Thank you so much for your support, hon. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to CDT for being a member. Thank you so much, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. CDT over there making beats, making music, child. I just be sliding on through. I be ninja listening, then I be sliding on through. Shout out to you, hun. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the channel members. We're going to have to do a members only stream. Child, we got over 400, thanks in part or mostly to Dr. G. Appreciate you. Donna says, I've been looking forward to what Lori Lightfoot has found out for months now. Let's do this. Exactly. We've been waiting with bated breath. Finally, child. It's 7:15. Let's see if they're saying anything. That's Miss Stubbs. What's the lady with cancer's name? I know she got to be here. What's her name, child? I should know that woman's name by now, child. I definitely should know her name by now, okay? I know she here somewhere. She don't miss nothing. No one has an excuse when that lady can make it to everything, okay? Shout out to Casey Cat up in here. I appreciate you, hon. She says, spill the tea, Lori. We're all ears for show. Thank you so much, hon. Always here, always support me. I appreciate you. Keeping us up to date on the goings on. Boots on the ground, child. We got people everywhere around here. Shout out to Meemaw. Hey, Meemaw's in the building. We love Meemaws. Oh, Meemaws. Shout out to you, hon. I love the name. Katron Prime says, y'all black. Y'all already know what it is. You know what. That's what Tiffany's over there saying when she sees all this. How could they treat me like this?
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
That's what she's sitting at home saying to Kamal. Shout out to Mwata Chikawendu from Little Rock. Is that where you at? Shout out to Little Rock in the building, child. Shout out to y'all up in here. Child, where's the metal detector? Good question. It's so much going on, but Tiff's not going to be here, so it's okay. Don't let Lacey come through here and try to be acting like he's shutting something down when his ass ain't even supposed to be working. I want to know if somebody took his GUN. I just want to know, did somebody come through and take his GUN since Big Tiff is going to allow that man to continue to work even though he's on administrative leave? Half damn crazy. Shout out to Alexander. He said, Jack with a splash of Coke. Good evening, hon. That's good. I like it. And I have white wine if I didn't say it. Yeah, I'm being white supremacist today. I got white wine. Because if I had red wine, I would be asleep and really be half damn crazy, y'all. So you should be thankful that I decided on white today. Okay. Let me see if I missed anyone else. They ain't started yet, but we on it. We on it. Michael, thank you. Give her the gold. Not give her the gold, Mike. Shout out to you. John G, I see you. I appreciate you. Red Lipstick Vibe. Shout out to you, hon. Always good to see you. Appreciate you. Elise, shout out to you, hon. Are you and Skinny Boy starting already? I tell you. Not Municipality, child. We are going in already. Don't you want to know? I love that name. Appreciate you. Nurse Petty is up in here. I see you. I appreciate you. Municipality. That's crazy. Shout out to you, hon. Let me see. I'm scrolling. I think I got Decline Management has opened the Gentleman's Lounge. Shout out to Decline Management over there. Messy Michon Reacts. He moderates over there. I see you. I appreciate you, hon. Shout out to everybody that is there, is here. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. JBJ, Johnny Matrix, Nolans. Shout out to Nolans. Y'all crazy down there too, child. Y'all crazy down there, but we know you all good. Shout out to you, hon. I appreciate you. Who else? Who did I miss? Anybody? Little Monkey. Are you Jed's Little Monkey? Shout out to what's the damn monkey's name? Kyra. Shout out to Kyra. Shout out to One True Emperor. Salute to you, hun. Always in here, always laughing. You so silly. Shout out to you. Didi Higginbotham. Shout out to Higginbotham up in here. I appreciate you. Dap. Shout out to Dap. Hope they have enough evidence to get this big lunch. We shall see. They passed the information. There's the Clean House Jason House. Clean House Jason House is in the building. I think I saw Kiana in the back. Kiana in the back. Shout out to Star Wars Iron Gate. That's a new name. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. You said, let the shenanigans begin. We ready. In our Tiffany Haddish voice, we ready. Uh-oh. All right, who we got? This is Clerk Key right here. I don't know who that dude is. I believe that's Kiana behind her sitting down already. Are we gonna be on CPT time today, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to be on CPT time today, ladies and joins? Anyone? Bueller? Any bets on that? Bueller. Ooh. Sorry about that. Hannibal is up. All right. So we waiting. They still ain't started. Let me see. Y'all are up in here. I appreciate you. Shout out to Donna McGrew Anderson. Come on with the 3 names. Girl, shout out to you. Some love for you, Messy. I love getting in this biatch's messiness. We love it too. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Sean and Kathy Calamari, one of my favorite appetizers. Appreciate you. Hey, Messy, thanks for covering this. We've been waiting on this. Thank God for Lori Lightfoot. This is going to be epic. I finally have to concede that they did a good job in getting her, which is how they got what they got on Monday. That information that they already know that we about to hear is why they did all the things that they did on Monday. You can't tell me anything different. She had to tell them, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. This is what's going to be. That's it. That's all. So shout out to Lori. We got to give her props where props are due. They said that, when they spoke on Monday night, that we might, our minds would be blown. I mean, residents for sure. Really the residents. Okay. So shout out to y'all if you are here. I just don't even, I hope it's not as bad for y'all as, they may have been anticipating. I'll just leave it at that. Pray for good things for y'all. Whatever the path forward is, that woman is crashing out. We saw it on Monday. She is crashing out. Her chips are falling. The people are leaving by way of whether it's informant, whistleblower, FBI, pressure, common sense. Finally, they don't want to go to jail. Whatever the reasons are, they are definitely falling. The dominoes are definitely falling. Shout out to Kofi. Thank you so much, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. Kenneth, I see you, hon. Appreciate you. Sipping on some water. Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, you working. Stay employed, child. Stay employed. Good choice. Just your average Tay. Shout out to Tay. Who's that? Who are these people? Let me see.
How you doing? Can I ask you a question? Please hold on for a second.
All right, they late. Shout out to Mr. Akon up in here, always here supporting. I see you. I appreciate you, hon. I think we got everybody. Shout out to everybody that is here. Janet, absolutely the best YouTube channel. Love my girl. Love you back. Thank you so much. I thank you so much. Y'all are so kind. Shout out to King Dominic up in here, up in here. I see you, hon. I appreciate you. Let me see. Gloria said, I love Kiana. Shout out to Kiana. Looking good tonight, child. Somebody let us know that's in Dalton, child. Is Kiana taken? Let us know, child. I don't want her, but I just be trying to help these crusty, dusty, musty, rusty, ashy ass bums to get on up and be married and stuff. They don't want to listen to me. They out here giving up the grade A, child. That's a whole nother live stream. Shout out to Ms. Bobby with the $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. Always here, always support me. Crocodile Dundee is in the building. Hey, hey. Is that Bert Odelson up in there too? Yup, sure enough. I forget who the other man is, child. Who the other white man, child? I know y'all know. I know y'all know. Don't be sensitive around here, child. Move on if you're sensitive. This is not the place for you. Don't be sensitive, child. Made in Texas. Shout out to Made in Texas. We see you, hon. Let me see. James Thomas, you the best, and I'm keep supporting you to the end. I appreciate you, James Thomas, a man with 2 first names. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Medic. Thank you, honey. Said Nate the Lawyer is another great channel. Not as fun as being here. And that is true. I agree. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Nate the Lawyer. They getting it together. We almost there, y'all. We almost there. Yeah, he got to be legal. I get to be silly. He got to be legal. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments. Appreciate your support. I think we saw Valerie Stubbs, Connie. I believe. Wait, who did we just see? I thought we saw her. Somebody let us know. Did we see Valerie Stubbs in there? We're still waiting to see the lady that has cancer. What's her name, y'all? If y'all know, I really should know her name by now. So my apologies for that. Lacey, the Corgi Poo. Hopefully this PowerPoint is fire. I know, right? Not like Big Tiff's, where she showed the PowerPoint and then she talked through the whole damn thing. Shout out to you, hon. Dr. G says, congrats to Sydney McLaughlin Levrone for breaking her own record and winning gold. Everybody in the Olympics. Shout out to anybody watching the Summer Olympics. I just watched the highlights, child. I ain't gonna hold you. Miss Valerie is in the front row. All right, she in the front row, y'all. We knew she would be here. We expect her to be here. Dan Lee to be here. Who else do we expect to be here? The lady with cancer. Hopefully the dude that spoke, the bigger guy, we don't know him yet, but came up and said that you and your wigs both need to go to jail. We want him to be here. We want him to be here. What if Keith was here, though? That would be hilarious, okay? Wow. What if Keith, not Price, not Biggie's not Heavy D's bigger, younger brother, but Keith Freeman, that would be the pièce de résistance to let Big Tiff know your days is numbered, child. That would be so funny if he was sitting in the back trying to be all inconspicuous, like Big in the episode when Carrie went to California for her book tour and was trying to get laid by Big. Child, if you know, I've been watching Sex and the City all day, so I be knowing, okay? Yeah, Paul, she's been crashing out. Monday, she really crashed out. Kiana's down there. Miss Brown is down there. I guess where's Stan? Come on, I thought Stan was a part of the team. Where is Stan? I thought he was a part of the team. I told you, don't be sitting up here putting too much trust in some people. That's all I'm saying, child. That's all I'm saying. Everybody can't be trusted. Everybody can't be trusted. If you was doing wrong, that don't mean, we forgive you, child, but that does not mean that all is forgiven and that you can't be held accountable. You know how your colors do. I'm just saying. So let me see. All right, they got a photographer. All right, Brittany. She trying to find something. Brittany got a man, child. All business I don't need to know, but I'm trying to see what's going on. Trying to get some of these gentlemen on up out of here, child. Shout out to Alonzo. I see you. Yes, they shut her downtown. She's still home mad. She ain't posted though. I've been watching and waiting. She has not posted. Usually she would post something. She doing her biblical moments, of course, but nothing like coming out and talking her mad sugar honey iced tea like she normally does. Shout out to Mike. Stop with the game show sounds. Oh yeah, no, we do that here. Like I said, if you're sensitive, this ain't the place for you. You can exit stage left. That's what we do. You don't like it, go somewhere where you like it. Skinny Green Apple. Phoenix is up in here. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Phoenix. Y'all are up in here. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Please hit the like button. Shout out to Bless Your Heart. Been waiting on this I swear everybody's been waiting for this. The news broadcasts have been talking and putting out shows, and there's been print on it, and there's a few people live streaming it. This is crazy. Is this more exciting than the damn 2024 presidential election? Oh goodness. I hope they did. Oh, why am I getting an emergency alert for a flash flood? Lord. Praise the Lord. We got to hope that everything goes good, goes well, no mishaps. We up in here doing the damn thing. Fingers crossed. I'm assuming y'all can hear me. Shout out to Claudia. I see you, hon. Let me see. Boundless. I see you. I appreciate you as always here. I see you. Y'all are in here. I think I got y'all. If I missed you, no slight whatsoever. Shout out to Miss Bradshaw. Speaking of Sex in the City, shout out to Miss Bradshaw. Hey, girl. Shout out to Monica. I see you. I appreciate you. Anissa, I see you. Goon, I see you. Oh, thank you all so much. Let me see. William, I see you, hon. Oh, Tiff is watching for show. That's not even a question. She eyes glued. She might have her own popcorn. Her lawyers, those two dudes up there. Uh-oh, let's see. Hold on. Y'all late.
So I can collapse. Okay. Yeah, that's why I asked. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
The source? That is. I just want to stand here. Is that okay?
Yeah, stand there, child. It's all good. It's all good.
You know whose bag this is? Anyone?
So no stand, it looks like. Remember this type stuff, Dalton residents. I know you here. Remember this type stuff. All right. When everybody want to forgive Stan, he ain't even here to support. And allegedly he's supposed to be changing over. Shout out to Star Wars Iron Giant. Thank you so much, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. He said, did you see how DA Love got her butt handed to her today in the YSL trial? I got to be honest with you. I'm not following it too much. Shout out to my girl AV to the 7th Power and lead attorney. They definitely are covering that. That's, child, I don't know. All I know about down there in the ATL is our friend Quantavious, Quan down here. I think Quantavious, if I'm not mistaken, is related to Young Thug. He ended up having to go back to jail because he didn't pay some fine, and I think he had a weapon. I'm waiting for him to come out, and hopefully I get to interview him when he comes out of jail. I think he's in there for like 3 to 6 years or something, only because he didn't follow through on what he was supposed to do. But shout out to AV. She definitely be covering it, like definitely, and the lead attorney.
She was fucking his best friend, so I mean, everybody's fucking down here in Atlanta. I don't know what to tell you. They breed it like rabbits down here. Everybody getting ass.
Shout out to y'all down there in the ATL. Shout out to Mr. Akon. Uh-oh, he going for the mic. Come on, Jason, let's go. Yes. Ooh, we got PowerPoint, y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, good evening, everybody. How's everybody today?
We ready. Let's go.
It's wonderful to see so many smiling faces and interesting faces, and so we want to make sure that we keep the spirits up. We have a lot of information to report, so we're going to get ready to convene our meeting. I'll ask first Clerk Key for a roll call.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Trustee Norwood. Trustee Stan Brown is absent. Trustee Tammy Brown. Present. Trustee House. Present. Trustee Holmes is absent. Trustee Belcher. Here. We have a quorum. And I'm sorry, we did not start the meeting correctly. The meeting is 6:33 p.m.
Thank you very much. This meeting being properly called by 3 trustees, Trustee House, Trustee Belcher, and Trustee Tammy Brown. We want to make sure we mark on the record, in the absence of the mayor's not present with us. I'm convening it as Mayor Pro Tem, and this meeting is properly called with 48 hours notice. First, we're going to ask everybody to do the pledge, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by prayer.
Don't have William Moore do the prayer, child. Lord, Lord, Lord. While we wait for them to do that, shout out to Elise. Thank you, hon. She said, Messay, can I be the chat version of Lacey? Quiet in the chat, quiet. One more outburst and we will shut it down. You got that. You a mod. You got that, hon. Thank you so much for your support. Let me go ahead and acknowledge our Snow Bunny is back. Shout out to Elizabeth is up in here. Thank you, hon. Appreciate you. Always good to see you. Hope all is well. This is a good time to be here, child. This is a week, y'all. Y'all already know this is a week, child. Shout out to Sasodi. Mics are good. Okay. Elizabeth said that she was hacked. Oh, that's not good. Had to renew the membership. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody who is here. Please hit the like button, y'all. Even if you aren't subscribed, that's fine. Just hit the like button. Thank you.
Okay, first order of business is general announcements. I'll ask the board if there are any general announcements to be made at this time.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, girl.
Just want to remind you this coming Saturday, tea with the trustees in this room, 14700 Evers, Lester Long Fieldhouse, will be tea with the trustees, 9:30 a.m. All the people we see here, we definitely want to see you guys Tuesday. We have awesome information every second. I'm sorry, this Saturday,
I can't make it.
Awesome information that we also share on those second Saturdays of every month. So please come out and join us. It's actually for you, the residents. Of course, you know, in the board meeting, you don't get a chance to, it's supposed to be citizens address instead of citizens comments. So this is the time for you to come out and tell us what you want to see done, and hopefully we can get those things taken care of. So please come out this Saturday, not Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. right here in this very room. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. Any additional comments from the board?
Let's go.
You have me recognized? Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
First,
girl.
I'd like to say thank you all for coming out. As everyone knows, this information tonight, everybody has been waiting on. So good to see a lot of Dalton residents out just because they want to know what's going on with their tax dollars. Please just give Mayor Lightfoot the respect. It's a wealth of information based on what was just given to us. And once we intake this information, please just work with us on our next steps of whatever we get. I just want just let everybody know that at this time, if anyone was at the meeting on Monday, you guys see that we are in a financial crisis. And I want you to trust your trustees that we are working for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Norwood.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I would just first like to say that I am so happy to see everyone. You all know what they say, a family that stays together, a family that prays together, stays together, okay? So I'd also like to just thank our residents, right? 2 Dalton residents. We know that these last 3 years have been a little difficult for us, right? We've had to make a lot of tough decisions regarding the town as a board. And I thank you all for trusting us, believing in us in the process, and knowing that we have a plan. We have a plan. I think that these last 3 years have made us stronger than ever before. I just want you all to know that I love you guys, and tonight is a good night.
One last thing, Mayor Pro Tem. We definitely want to thank Mayor Lightfoot for taking on, when I tell you, this devastating task. We thank her for taking on this task and helping not only the trustees, but also the residents. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot. Trustees, but also the residents. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot.
A few other acknowledgements. I want to make sure that we would be, partnership has been critical for the Board of Trustees and the village as well. Dalton Park District has been a tremendous partner to us, so I want to make sure we give the space and having the meeting rooms when we've been locked out of our own village hall taxpayer dollars. So we want to give a round of applause to Commissioner Sandra Wells is there. I saw Commissioner Gail Towers. I know Commissioner Willis Harris is pretty close, as well as our president, Cleo Jones. Want to give them a round of applause.
Cleo!
I don't know if I missed Commissioner Rochelle if he's present, but thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. This partnership means everything to the community, and it's part of the way that we move forward. So we have to give that acknowledgement. Further acknowledgement to the hard-fighting Dalton firefighters who come and who show up every day for us. Shout
out to the firefighters. Still working with no contract.
We want to know the community loves you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we are working hard to get you guys made whole and made correct. I will have a few other comments about the report to preface the report, and some of the things we did make sure that it was an independent report. So the board was kind of given some kind of snippets ahead of time, but we wanted to also maintain the integrity of independence. So there are some things we'll be seeing for the first time, some things we've had kind of a heads up to, but it's given us some direction. So I'll preface some more comments. At Monday's board meeting, there were also some actions voted on by the Board of Trustees that have left confusion or ambiguity, because the board has voted to begin some layoffs for budgetary reasons, and all of those have not been implemented at this time, or they're in various phases. So we are working with our attorneys. So I'll ask if Attorney McGrath can kind of also give an update to the community on what's going on there.
Thank you, Trustee. A couple of updates since the meeting on Monday night, which a lot of items were brought out, specifically the village's finances, and why we're here tonight to go into more detail. But the board has decided to implement a hiring freeze. It was not able to be put on this agenda in time, but they want to know that, let the residents know that there's going to be a hiring freeze, that the village is just not able to hire any more employees in any department. There were some layoffs, and there's most likely going to be more layoffs, unfortunately, in the future. Since Monday's meeting, there's also been a number of instances of harassment in the workplace, threats to employees and elected officials. I have advised all staff and employees to document those incidents and we are going to forward them to the Cook County Sheriff's Police Department, who by ordinance is the Inspector General for the Village of Dalton. And they will have the stronger arm to take action in regards to workplace harassment, retaliation, political work happening in the workplace, those kind of things. The ordinance, you can get a copy of it. It was passed about 10 years ago, but the clerk can get a copy and post it. And I think it'd be a good idea to let everyone know what the sheriff is authorized to look into, and it's a lot of it. Once again, based on the board's directive, different individuals aren't following the board's directive. There was a deputy chief that was placed on administrative leave. He disregarded that and showed up the very next day. He then received a notice that he was terminated, and he
Terminated now? Lacey's terminated now?
Despite being notified that he was terminated and in discussions with the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, he again showed up today. Once again, the mayor has changed the locks at the Village Hall. Everyone recall how orderly and how nice it was to walk into the village board meeting on Monday night when the Madam Clerk and the trustees had key fobs to get into the village. Once again, this is about the third time that she has changed the locks, so the elected officials do not have access, cannot get into the Village Hall, which belongs to the people. I got a call from an attorney this afternoon who unfortunately says I have a couple lawsuits that I have to file against the village. It's been pending in court, and I can't serve the village because I can't get to the clerk because the doors to the Village Hall are locked. So it's causing some real issues, and federal judges are aware of what's going on. But the locks have changed. Emails were shut off, and I had heard that Mr. Lacey and others have brought in their own IT person in an effort to gain access to their emails that were shut down. I don't know the status of that, but there's a lot of stuff that happens really, really quick. Things happen every day. You just cannot believe what's going on with this administration. But we're doing our best. These board members are doing their best. Ms. Lightfoot has a very good presentation for everyone, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions after, but I think we can move on from there.
That's crazy. That woman is insane.
Okay, thank you for that update, Attorney McGrath. So that, having said that, we're going to move to the next item on the agenda. We have a few, I would say, quicker points so that we need to vote through, and then we'll go into the presentation. But I don't think that should take extremely long. I think we've all had the opportunity to vet these items. So I'll turn over to Village Clerk Allison Key.
Again, most of you guys know that my minutes are never put on the agenda for the regular board meeting, so I have to get them approved here. So I'll quickly go through the minutes, dates, and ask for the board's approval. So I'm asking for approval for minutes for May 6th, May 13th, June 3rd, and July 1st. I'm asking that the board would approve the 4 minutes.
Take a sip.
For minutes.
I'm drinking.
Okay, Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have nothing under old business. For new business, we put on here, we are still in, this is still a work in progress, but it will be one of the things we are working towards to move the village forward as one of our solutions. We are going to be reassigning the board committees so that we can reinstitute the finance committee, police and fire, personnel committee, housing committees. So that will be forthcoming on an upcoming agenda. We're still kind of identifying, I think we have the chairs identified, but we want to make sure that we round it out with good talent. So that will be coming on an upcoming agenda. Item B, we put out an RFP for review for bids on a new towing company or new towing contract. Want to highlight that we did it in the RFP format, so that way we can make sure we get the best bang for our buck. We made sure that there are 2 current tow companies that received the notification, as well as the notification being placed in the public newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. And at this moment, is my understanding, we have received 1 bid in for that contract. So we will I will be asking for a motion to approve that bid. I don't know, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Okay, the towing contract is with ENR Tow. So I'm gonna ask, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from ENR Tow Company to move forward with this contract, and I'll ask for a second, please. Okay, here a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, Trustee Belcher?
Just for discussion, I know that you just stated there are two companies right now that are doing the tow. I know in 2021, when we first got in, we approved one. Speaking to that company, they stated, and I'm waiting on a copy of the contract, that their contract is to 2026. So moving forward, even with a vote on this new one, will they still be towing for the village because we have a current contract?
So this proposal would be for them to be the second company while we review their contract. I will say the reason for this RFP going out are numerous complaints that we're receiving on various pricing being done for individuals being told. People being told for one day at 500, 700, and fluctuating rates. My concern being that they are violating their contract, is not benefiting the residents of Dalton, and we wanted to make sure that, we want to make sure that we have consistency in the towing fee, and we have a company that's willing to work with the administration as well, and most importantly with the residents. I did highlight or note in the bid that was given, it was a fee for the first day of $225, $25 going back to the residents of the village of Dalton for each tow that's going in there, and they've promised to be good community partners. Additionally, they have a tow contract with the city of Chicago, so they are a very large and reputable company. But to answer your question, because I did kind of ramble a lot of things off there, but I just felt triggered, something came through me. The reason was because of contract disagreements. At this moment, it will be two companies, but as we review their contract, it may go down to one.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that on record, because we don't want any pending litigation until we find out exactly what's going on, that they will remain in rotation until we move further. That's all. Thank you.
So noted. Any additional comments?
And I'm sorry, that's just for the tow company that we approved in 2021, because although we found out that there are two tow companies, we only approved one.
Correct. Any additional comments?
No, let's get to the good stuff.
Hearing none, I'll ask Clerk Key for a roll call, please.
Didn't we do that already? Come on.
Trustee Norwood? Trustee Tammy Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House? Aye. Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the order around quickly. I'm gonna take D before C. Item D is an ordinance. I want to make sure I get the terminology. I got it. Do we have a number on there already? 24-008, an ordinance amending the village code to add the requirement of 2 signatures on check to allow the mayor pro tem the authority to sign documents.
Yeah.
This motion is put in place. The current ordinance has 2 signers on our bank account, the mayor and the clerk, which is the rightful way. We have challenged that before and had other court proceedings. This ordinance would allow for, if the mayor refuses to do her fiduciary duty to sign checks that the board have approved, it makes sure that the mayor pro tem can sign in her absence. Again, only in the absence or refusal, because we are recognizing that many cases a refusal to sign, which are delaying many projects similar to this park district and other items. So we've been able to utilize this mechanism to make sure village business continues and goes forward in the proper manner. So and this is a procedural thing that we need, as we have been in communication with the bank, because at this moment we only have the clerk is the only person that will be authorized, which is if the mayor refuses to sign. So this gives us the mechanism needed for the bank to authorize these signatures as
Oh,
well.
Tiff really mad
So
at that.
that's the reason for this.
Tiff
I
really
motion
mad at that.
ordinance 24-008 be approved, and I'll ask for a second.
She can't
Hearing a
control the
motion and
money at
second, any
all.
discussion?
They can spend money
Hearing
without
none,
her.
Clerk Key, roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood? Trustee Tammy Brown?
Take a sip on
Trustee
that, y'all.
House? Trustee Belcher? Motion passed.
Okay, and then we're going to
Agree,
cycle back
John.
to item C,
Agree.
which is the presentation and preliminary findings
Oh,
from
come on, let's
former
go.
Mayor Lightfoot. I have a couple of comments. I don't know if any board members have comments
Jason!
before I segue
Stressing
to
me
Mayor
out.
Lightfoot. So this process started and the request started because for I would say up to at least up to a year, our administration and more importantly the residents have not had the opportunity to know what's going on financially with the records in our town. We've also looked at the investigation into what happened in Vegas, and we were not able to get answers. While we are aware that there are FBI subpoenas and a probable FBI investigation, we feel and felt the need for some answers that the community deserves, that this board deserves, and that in order for us to be on solid footing to make a plan. From the pieces that I've seen, it mirrors exactly what we knew, is that we are in a dire financial position.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I think as the numbers come can be extremely frustrating to the residents of this community. And we want to make sure that we are recognizing where we are and using this as a jumping point to where we can to get back where we need to be and to thriving. So we want to make sure that everybody's taking in the information. We deserve to know this information. Want to echo the sentiments of Trustee Tammy Brown and saying thank you for all of the hours and all of the hard work. Not too many hours, we put a cap on it. But I want to say thank you for all of the hard work that has been put into this. We noted this as a preliminary report, but we felt it very urgent that we share the findings because we made promises to do this in a transparent manner with the community. So there still are some stages to go. I'm sure Mayor Lightfoot will talk about some of the hurdles and obstacles. And as a board, after the board has questions, the board will be present to answer what our next steps are. But without further ado, I want to turn over to Mayor Lightfoot.
Come on. Yeah.
Can you all hear me just fine, and particularly the folks in the back of the room?
Hit the like button,
All right.
everybody, please.
First and foremost, I want to just emphasize a couple points that Trustee House and others have made. First of all, thank you to the trustees, to Madam Clerk, to Mike McGrath and Bert Odelson. This has been a challenging investigation, to say the least, because we have not received the level of cooperation from the mayor and her team that I would have hoped. Nonetheless, we've had, I think, a breakthrough that's allowed us to be here in front of you today to give you the information that I know that the trustees for sure and the members of the public have been seeking for some time. But I do want to emphasize this is just preliminary. We have more work to do, but as Trustee House said, we believe that it was very important to come before the members of the public so you would have some context for what the current state of your finances are as city government. As has been alluded to, I think there's going to have to be some tough decisions that are made, but you've got to make that with as complete a set of information as possible. And that's what this presentation is intended to do. Our work is ongoing, and we expect to finish with in expedited fashion. But as I said, we wanted to get to you as quickly as possible. A couple of points, just so we're all. I'm not an accountant, and I suspect many of you in the room are not. But we will be covering some accounting terms, and wanted to just make sure that everybody had the same basic level of understanding as we go through these slides. We're going to talk about how the Village of Dalton handles its accounting system. We'll talk about in detail about the preliminary assessment of the financial status. We're going to go over what we've seen as increasing expenditures since 2021, unfunded expenditures, the current cash status, credit card use. Then we'll do a summary, and then we'll entertain questions from the trustees. So let me just jump right into it. Many of you know that the village, in the same manner as other municipalities in the state, accounts for its finances using what's called fund accounting. That means, that's just a fancy word of saying the expenses and the revenues are divided up into specific buckets of dollars, and those funds are what we're going to be talking about. The village maintains 3 categories of fund: a general governmental fund, the proprietary fund, and a fiduciary fund. All right. Under each category, actually, I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Amanda, who will go into more detail about these different funds. Go ahead, Amanda. Sorry about that.
Amanda. It's Amanda. Hey, Amanda.
So within each category, So within each category of funds, there are underlying funds that are used to account for resources that are for different purposes. The first category, governmental funds, includes the general fund, which is going to be the focus of our presentation this evening. And the general fund is what's used to account for the day-to-day operations of the village. Additionally, there are what are known as special revenue funds. These are specific funds for specific purposes. This includes the motor fuel tax and Tiff money. The final governmental fund is debt service funds, where the village's debt obligations are accounted for, which is primarily the public bond debt. The final 2 categories of funds, which we will not be covering today, are proprietary funds, which account for transactions that are more business in nature, operations that should be funded by customer payments. That's the water fund, the sewer fund, and the fitness center. And the final are fiduciary funds, which are held for non-governmental parties, and that is the village's pension trust funds.
So let's jump into the specifics.
Yes, child.
Many of you know that the village's fiscal year runs from May 1 to April 30th. So it's those 12 months, but they span 2 years. Certain financial disclosures are mandated under state law that the village reports to the comptroller of the state each fiscal year. 2 documents that we're going to talk specifically about are the annual financial report, and you see the citation there. It's a state law, and the audited financial statements. The village has not, and let me repeat that, the village has not complied with these statutory requirements since fiscal year 2021. There's no annual financial report available after 2021, and no audited financial statements after 2021. So what that means is the information that we're providing you has not been thoroughly audited by a CPA, but we do have information coming from an entity that essentially serves as the finance department of the village. Historically, from what we can tell, the village has had small or no full-time financial staff.
No surprise.
At various times, even though statutorily there's a provision for a city treasurer, none exists and hasn't for some time. There's a provision for a finance director. There's been intermittent people that have served that role, but that role has been vacant as of May of this year. And before that, the person who held the role started working part-time as of the end of December in 2023. So as you can see, given the lean or no financial staff, there's a lot of dependence upon the John Kasparic accounting firm, which is functionally operated as the village's finance department for some time.
Take a sip on
What
that.
we have examined are monthly financial reports from January of 2021 to May of 2024, produced by the Kasperick firm. And as I mentioned, due to the village's failure to conduct an audited financial statement, we have to caveat the accuracy of the information, but we feel fairly confident based upon lining out not only the monthly reports, but looking at bank statements that match up with the information that's in the financial reports. And we had the opportunity to talk to some of the folks at the Kasperick firm who are responsible for managing the finances of the village, and that work is ongoing. As of May 30th of this year, the village's general fund was in a net deficit position, meaning that there is insufficient funds in that general fund. As we mentioned, the general fund is used to account for the majority of the village's day-to-day operations, including payroll and vendor payments.
How?
The village's special revenue fund and debt service fund, however, are in a positive position, but each of those funds are restricted funds, meaning you cannot borrow from one to give to the other. And that is what's causing, in part, the financial crisis. What's next you can see is a graphic that depicts where we started as of April, where the village started as of April of 22, with positive of $5.6 million in the general fund, and where we are as of May of 2024, which is a negative $3.65 million.
Wow. We finally got numbers.
Mayor Lightfoot, if I may,
Yes.
just kind of as a summary now, just quick numbers. So in a 2-year span, we're talking about a $9 million swing or $9 million of deficit over that course of time. Would that be most accurate?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, turning now to the increasing expenditures of the village. Over the last 3 fiscal years, the average monthly expenditures of the village have increased by nearly 30%. As you can see in the graphic, in fiscal year 2022, on average, the village spent about $1.9 million a month. But in the last fiscal year, that amount had climbed to $2.5 million. These increasing expenditures have not been accompanied by corresponding increases in revenue. Again, as you see in the graph on the blue bars, the revenues have remained relatively the same over that time period, just over $24 million, while expenditures have climbed from $23 million in 2022 to $30 million in 2024. Ultimately, in fiscal years 2023 and 2024, expenditures exceeded revenue. Specifically in 2024, it was over $5 million more in expenditures than revenues. To look further at the increasing expenditures, the table on the screen highlights the 2 village departments that are the main drivers of this spending increase: the General Administration and Administrative Compensation Department and the Police Department. Turning first to the General Administration Department. Turning first to the General Administration line, the increase in expenditures here has grown about approximately 47%. This was around $6.4 million in fiscal year 2022, and it was $9.4 million in fiscal year 2024. There have been increases in general administration spending in nearly every area, but there are a handful that stick out the most. As you can see on the first line, the largest driver of this increase is a more than double change in liability insurance cost. It's gone from 1.2 million in fiscal year 2022 to 3.2 million in fiscal year 2024. Other areas where we see large increases are miscellaneous expenditures, settlements, legal fees, and telephone.
So everything.
Let me just add regarding the legal fees. these are, everything that we're representing to you tonight are things that have been booked in one of the general ledgers or otherwise. We know that the legal fees that have been booked so far are underestimated because there are a number of legal fees that have yet to be paid. And obviously with the litigation that's been filed, particularly by vendors who have not been paid, those legal fees will definitely, this is a very conservative estimate of what those fees actually are. Let me drill a little bit down also in what we're seeing so far with the police department. Those expenditures have increased approximately 21% since FY22. Some of that is obviously driven by the union contracts and making sure that there's retro pay and that the police officers are compensated according to the collective bargaining agreement. Within the police department expenditures, categories with large increases include overtime, other miscellaneous expenses, and I will tell you we don't know exactly what that is, but we're working on unpacking that, contractual services, other professional services, and medical insurance. We wanted to highlight for you, particularly given overtime, what we saw as two outliers in officers, Officer Terry Young and Officer William Reed. Both of these individuals in the last 2 years have earned more in overtime than their base compensation.
Wow. We know them. Wow.
And you can see these numbers here. Officer Terry Young in FY2023 earned $194,290 total, given the base salary and the overtime. And then in FY 2024, that increased to $227,351, combining the base salary and the overtime. Officer Reed for FY 2023 had a total earnings of $145,450, and in FY 2024, $192,732. We thought it also important for you to know that Acting Chief Lacey has accumulated overtime.
Of course.
It's our understanding that he is not part of the collective bargaining unit and has not been for some time, which under normal circumstances would mean that he is not entitled to overtime. But as you can see here, for FY22, FY23, and FY24, and we're now in fiscal year 2025, through those 4 years, he's accumulated $215,747,000 just in overtime.
She put the spotlight straight on Lacey. No wonder he's still showing up.
Now we're going to move, ladies and gentlemen, to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on, as we alluded to, we're going to move to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on checks that have been approved by the board from warrant lists that have come before the Board of Trustees, but held and not sent to the vendors. Based on the records that we have reviewed since March of 2023, the village has been unable to pay all of its monthly expenditures with available cash balance. Since that time, nearly every month, a portion of the checks approved and printed have been held by the village due to unavailability of funds.
Woo.
Per records from the John Kasperick firm, as of June 18th, 2024, there are 589 checks totaling over $6 million that have been approved, printed, but not transmitted.
Where the money reside?
And that is a big driver of the deficit in the general fund.
Well, where that money go?
This over $6 million in held checks, I want to caution, does not account for additional monies potentially owed by the village to vendors for which checks have not even been printed. These categories, which we are looking into, include, for example, invoices that have been received by village departments, but for one reason or another may not have been entered into the accounting system, which is called My Viewpoint. These invoices could have been entered into the accounting system, but not been approved by department heads or by the village administrator. And this could also include invoices that have not been approved by payment for the Board of Trustees. You're aware that from time to time, the warrant lists are presented. The trustees say, pay this, not pay that. Well, those checks that are on the warrant list roll over from time to time. And it probably makes sense just to explain really briefly. There is not a centralized repository for vendors to put their checks in electronically, or their invoices, I should say, so that it's automatically in the system. It has to be either hand delivered or sent via email. It goes to the appropriate department head. Then it's up to that department head to approve and enter those invoices into the MyPoint system. And it depends upon the dollar amount of the invoice, who has final approval for those invoices to make it onto the warrant list. But that's the way the process works now. It will not surprise you that one of the recommendations that we will have when we finish our work is that the village invest in an automated system so that nothing falls between the cracks. The vendor will be able to see real time, where is my invoice moving through the system, and you'll know where it sits, either with the department head or otherwise.
All right, we'll turn now to discuss the cash status of the village.
Oh, Lord.
So the village has 22 different bank accounts. A majority of those bank accounts are designated for the special revenue funds or bond escrow funds. So the money in those bank accounts is restricted and shouldn't be used for day-to-day operations. I'll also note that these 22 accounts don't include the pension assets. The pension assets are held in separate trust accounts. Most of the village's expenditures each month are paid from one main operating bank account. As of June 30th, 2024, that bank account had a balance of $715,000. As of April 30th, 2021, that account had a balance of almost $1.5 million. So a decrease of over $750,000.
Child, take a sip.
In addition to the main operating account, historically, the village has held its excess cash in an account known as Illinois funds. Illinois funds are interest-bearing accounts that are managed by the Illinois Treasurer's Office that allow municipalities to earn interest on their excess cash balance. The balance in the Illinois funds account as of June 30th was only $3,900.
What the hell?
As of April 30th, 2021, that balance was over $2 million. So the balance of excess cash has dropped by over $2 million in that time period.
Woo! It was operating all right.
The monthly financial reports include a summary of the unrestricted cash balances of the village each month. Within these summaries, the balance reflected already accounts for those held checks that Mayor Lightfoot was just discussing, checks that have been issued but haven't cleared because they haven't been sent yet to vendors. What you can see on the chart is that the unrestricted cash balance of the general fund has dropped from almost $5 million as of April of 2022, and it is now accounting for all of the checks that have yet to be sent, is now in a deficit position of over $5.5 million as of May of 2024.
Child, we understand. We got to take a sip too, child. This is a mess.
We thought it was important to give you a little bit of insight into credit card use by village employees. We do not have complete information yet. It is our hope that we will get further cooperation and be able to have a complete picture of credit cards, but we wanted to share with you what we do know so far. We are aware that over this time period, from 2021 to the present, the village used 6 different credit cards at various points, from January 2021 through May of this year. 4 American Express cards
Mhm.
that appear to have been used by various folks within the police department. The statements for these accounts were addressed to Ernest Mobley, Robert Collins, and Louis Lacey.
Mayor, may I interject there for a moment? Because we have, it was former Deputy Chief Mobley is present with us, and an amazing officer, so I'm certain there was no misuse or misconduct on that behalf, so I want to make sure I state that. Because
Say that about
he's
Robert
been an
Collins.
exemplary officer.
Yeah, all we know is what we've seen in the paper so far. We have not interviewed any of these folks to get a better understanding of the specifics around credit card use. We have some knowledge of that, but we'll share that as part of the final report. There's 1 American Express card for which statements are addressed to Keith Freeman, the village administrator, and there was a 1 Fifth Third card which statements are addressed to the village. We've been told that that card is no longer in use. We understand from the records we've received from the Kasperick company and interviews that we've conducted that receipts for credit card purchases are rarely provided. Further, we understand that the credit card balance, because it comes due, of course, every month, we all know that, is paid as a matter of course. And it was reflected in the accounting records as miscellaneous police department expenditures. We're looking into what is the reason and rationale for that. But what this means is that these credit card bills that are paid do not appear on warrant lists and are therefore not presented to the board for approval. Again, that will be a recommendation that we make, and the board is obviously aware of this issue, which is in part why they took the action that they took the other day to rein in the credit card spending. We also understand from the Kasperick company that the only time a credit card charge would be reflected on a warrant list is if a receipt is provided. And as I've said, our information is that the receipts are rarely provided. We want to highlight a couple of credit card purchases. You're having the same reaction that we did when we saw it.
33,000 from Amazon.
So in particular, we were very concerned to see the top 3 purchases that were highlighted for you that were booked on January 5th of 2023. That's roughly $40,000, a little more than that, in credit card purchases on Amazon in the same day.
Woo! Same day.
And our understanding, is that the village does not have an Amazon account. These are somebody using one of the credit cards and charging these amounts.
Fraud!
Using your tax dollars.
Oh my God!
We suspect we're going to see, as you can see, expenditures at Target, Walgreens, Best Buy, a number of charges that raise questions in our mind. Are these legitimate purchases using the credit cards? What we've also found in the credit cards, I know that there's been a lot of interest in travel, and we are highlighting here on this slide some of the travel that is reflected in the village credit cards. Birmingham, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama in March of 2023 with 5 known travelers. Washington, D.C. in 2023 with 4 known travelers. Las Vegas, Nevada with 8 known travelers. Jackson, Mississippi in June of 2023 with 3 known travelers. Austin, Texas in July of 2023 with 3 known travelers. Portland, Oregon in July of 2023 with 4 travelers. Central and Southern Illinois in September of 2023. I think you're aware of what happened during that time. 10 hotel rooms booked during that travel. Traveled to New York City in October of 2023, 1 traveler. Atlanta, Georgia in November of 2023, 1 traveler on the village's credit cards. And I caveat that because we will and are continuing to look at, I'll say, cross-pollination between the village and the township and the credit card use there as well. So let me summarize for you kind of what we presented, what we found so far regarding the finances. The general fund is used to pay the vast majority of the village's expenses. As you heard, as of May 31st of this year, the fund had a negative balance of $3.65 million. The village's general fund expenditures have exceeded revenues the past 2 fiscal years, ending April 30th, 2023 and April 30th, 2024. As of June 30th of this year, the cash on hand in unrestricted accounts is insufficient to cover the held checks valuing $6.1 million. We are in the current fiscal year of FY 2025, and the village has no budget that's been passed this year. The village's financial records have not been audited since FY 2021, and the village has not filed the mandated state annual reports since FY 2021. So where are we in terms of next steps? Regarding the financial information, there's a lot more work that we need to do. As I indicated, we've just recently got a lot of information in the door that is reflected for the most part in this presentation, but there are other things that we have asked for, and we're hoping that we're going to get further cooperation from the Kasperic accounting firm.
Good luck.
Additional details regarding credit card spending and any receipts that might exist. Detailed accounting records and reconciliations, check registers, which is important. Detailed accounting of inter-fund transfers and balances. What we're seeing, and we need to really look at the detail here, is that there is a transfer from one fund, in some instances there's restricted funds, into another fund and vice versa.
Fraud.
Additional detail, we're looking at what were the financial policies and practices in place and whether or not those need to be changed, updated, or beefed up in any way. We are continuing to look at what happened in Las Vegas. There are 2 trips, one in May of 2022 and a second in May of 2023. And as I alluded to earlier, the relationship and the intermingling of funds and personnel with Thornton Township is something we're very focused on as well. We defer to the trustees.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Mayor Lightfoot, her colleagues, as well as our legislative attorneys as well for the time and effort put into that. So again, I'll ask for a round of applause for the work that's been done. I'm going to refer to any of the board members, see if there's questions of the report that has been presented. Okay, I'm going to turn over to Trustee Norwood.
That was a lot to digest there.
Yes.
I just want for the residents that, because I know sometimes there are a lot of residents that still don't understand. For us trustees, our job is to oversee the finances. For the last 3 years, I know it looks as though there's been a lot of fighting, but we've been fighting for transparency so that things like this won't happen. We were locked out of my viewpoint maybe about a year or 2 ago. Once we did start sharing the receipts and the information with the residents, they stopped that, right? Police overtime. In the very beginning, we stated, hey, I wasn't even totally opposed to police detail of some sort, but what I stated was for how long and how many, right? That's important. And it was important because now they never gave us this information, and now we see that we're spending millions of dollars in overtime, and the only one really protected in Dalton is her, and it's not fair. vendors. You all have heard me say for the last few years, bring RFPs in front of the board, bring RFPs in front of the board. It's extremely important that we have a process put in place so that as trustees, we can make the right decisions regarding vendors. We want these services to be provided to the residents. I want you all to know that we're never against you all receiving services, but we don't want to pay more. We don't want people receiving kickbacks and charging us way more for the services that the residents deserve. Hopefully, moving forward, we can get the mayor to work with us and provide some of this information.
Girl.
I mean, that's the hopes. But in the meantime, we'll continue to show up. We're going to continue to work with the residents. We're going to continue to get you the information, right? And Dawn, let's just hang in there. We're almost there. We're doing all the necessary steps in terms of a board, because we still want to try to work with this administration to the end. Our goal is still to attempt, no matter what, for the residents. So I just want you all to know that we want to work together. That's the goal. We are put here for checks and balances, and hopefully they can start bringing things in front of us. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you're okay, I'm gonna get Bert and Lori, and I'm gonna let you and Lori be here for you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Trustee Belcher.
Y'all know it took everything in my soul to sit here and stomach this report. As we've been saying, and I'm gonna refer back to Trustee Norwood. Anybody that has watched the meetings, I said the checks that's sitting on the desk that ain't been cashed. Nobody has to come to a board meeting and tell a lie about anything. It's common sense. It's simple multiplication. When you have people emailing you every day about their invoices and payments. This goes as far back of June 9, 2022. It's sad. It's sickening. People came last month when we got our tax bills in an uproar about the tax. Can y'all imagine when we do take initiative to even start straightening this out, how our tax bill is going to look? That $6.8 million did never come. And it was spent before deposited. It's simple math. $6 million, $6.1 million in checks sitting somewhere. $40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that reside in 60419 zip code. The meeting, and Mayor Lightfoot, I'm so grateful for this information that you provided, because it takes somebody else to come in to show that we've been trying to stop this, and we've been doing minimal damage. So could you have imagined if we just sat up there and approved everything that was going on? Because she's gonna ride off in her BMW and we'll still be here stuck. We have been financially raped. And when people rape people, they get anything they deserve. Woo!
I'm just gonna say what I've been saying for months and months and months. The bag been empty in 2022. The bag, it was never anything in the bag. And you still continue to say, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us. If you don't see through this, it's nothing I can say to you. Even last week, sitting with Mayor Lightfoot, it's a punch in the gut. As the lady said from out of town, you've been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled, led astray, all of that. And for a person to sit there and constantly lie. Every board meeting, I don't say much because I just can't see how the girl tell all them lies like that. It's unbelievable for a person to say that and for people to believe. So we thank God for Mayor Lightfoot's being here today, her presentation. Now, if this doesn't open up the eyes to these residents and let us know what as we say, the black jobs mean black vote. Everybody tell somebody. February of 2025, clean house. Clean house. You got to. This is just unbelievable. I mean, to even sit here, even though I said last week, it's a stomach ache. I've been punched all over tonight. It's ridiculous to see how our tax dollars have been recklessly spent by this young lady. So definitely give us time. Residents, we're asking you to work with us. We're doing our very, very best. So definitely hang in there with us. And thank you all again for coming out tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna also ask Attorney Olderson to comment on some of the work that he's been doing.
So my takeaways from tonight and from what we have seen over the last 3 years that we have been legislative counsel for these trustees. Number one, the hiring of Mayor Lightfoot was not only smart, but incredibly necessary, as you've seen tonight. Her work is extraordinary and will continue to produce information for this board and for the public, which you need to know and the board needs to know in order to try to right the ship. Without her and her skill and her staff, we wouldn't be sitting here tonight with this information for you. There is a lot of work to do. More financial discovery from Mayor Lightfoot, more layoffs and readjustment of personnel, leadership change at the police department, stopping of harassment of employees, and for us, the lawyers, trying to work with the 40+ lawsuits that have been filed against this village in the last 3 years. Our firm has not been paid for 3 years. Why? Because the mayor won't sign the checks in hopes of us leaving. She has a motion to fire us on every agenda and usually rails against us on every agenda. But I can tell you this, we're not leaving and we're staying with Dalton.
Become a trustee, Olderson.
I just ask as a human being, not as a lawyer, not as a politician, that the people of the village of Dalton stick with this board of trustees because they're heroic in and of themselves.
May I?
And I don't say that because there's an election coming. You'll get plenty of information on that. But I say that because we have hard months ahead. Knowing these finances, knowing what we just went through to get some insurance for the village, which was extraordinarily difficult and incredibly costly, we have a lot of work to do to right the ship, a lot. So I want to thank Mayor Lightfoot, who I've known for many years and admired for many years, and her staff. And I certainly want to thank the Mayor Pro Tem and the trustees and your wonderful clerk who works under difficult conditions. And we did get into the village hall today, even though the mayor changed the locks again for the third time to lock everybody out of the village hall, including the employees and the trustees that she didn't want in there. So we continue, every day there's something new. So I just want to thank you, Jason House, and the board, and Mayor Lightfoot. Thank you.
I want to highlight one comment made by Attorney Olson, Attorney McGrath. 3 years with no pay. 3 years without pay. Not many, if any, other attorney would take on that walk with the board, with the residents of this community. And it seemed that every turn as things were getting worse, Bert got more pissed. So I'll just jab at him and say, you heard what she say about you? But in all candidly speaking, there is, when we talk about partnerships and what it takes for us to try to get to an end. And I'm saying this because, as you see, we have a big hole. So we want to make sure that the partnerships continue, because that's what's going to get us out of this hole as well. And I want to say thank you for the service that you guys have provided. Okay, I want to turn over to Mayor Lightfoot for kind of her final comments. As the board has asked questions, we're going to pause to give them a moment to exit. The board is here to answer questions, but I'm also serious about this hourly rate that I don't want to make sure we spend frivolously.
It's the friends and family discount, I can assure you.
But we want to make sure all comments are heard and rightfully so. The board is here, and we'll make some comments on what our next steps and our plan is, and we're here to hear from the residents after that. But Mayor Lightfoot, please.
I just want to share a couple of final comments with you all. I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers, so I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. And I just want to let you know this isn't just a job. This isn't just some task. We feel this. And so we have worked very, very diligently, very hard under difficult circumstances to get as much information as we could to share with you. You may hear a number of things in the coming days, but what I can assure you is the information that we have shared, that we're putting our names on, is drawn directly from the financial records of this village. We wouldn't be here sharing this information, advising the trustees and talking with legislative council if we didn't have confidence in the numbers. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify them 20 ways from Sunday. But this, if you hear this is fake news, it's not real, no, this is real. The last thing I'll say is we figured that folks would probably want to take a little time to study these numbers in a little more detail. We have 100 copies of this deck that we will leave, paper copies. So after the meeting is over, you can feel free to come get them, first come, first serve. Don't worry, media, we've already shared the electronic copies with you all, so you should have that. But again, thank you for showing up for yourselves and for your families and for your community.
Okay. I'm going to pause briefly to give Mayor Lightfoot and our attorneys a moment to exit, and then we're going to make some final comments from the board in terms of next steps, and then we will open for citizens' address.
Woo, Lord, Lord, Lord. They said, let's get Lori on up out of here so we can stop the clock on that 400, child. But that was a lot, y'all. That was a lot. That Amazon, I'm tripped. I'm tripping out still. Take a sip, y'all. Take a sip, take a shot, take something. That was a lot. Now, I'm not saying that there was like too much new information, but that was half damn crazy. And she will do exactly what Lori Lightfoot was saying, that it's all fake news. You don't know. They be lying. It's a smear campaign. Whatever else the hell does she be saying that don't make no daggone sense? Girl, we already knew. We just didn't know it was this bad. We already knew. We just didn't know that it was this bad. That's all. So now that we have seen, we've heard, I'm going to trust Lori over, I'm going to trust a rock before I trust anything Big Tiff has to say. I'm just saying, this is crazy. I just wanted somebody to let us know what the hell they was buying at daggone Amazon, because what they said is that they was just using the credit card for their own personal accounts. They're going up there to get the 100 pieces of paper. Hopefully hopefully Paul gets it. And then maybe he'll come on and talk to us after he runs the numbers and see what's what and gives his analysis to it. You know, Paul be knowing, y'all. Y'all know Paul be knowing. So they're going to take, child, somebody take that and make copies for everybody. They're going to take some questions. We're going to be here for it. But wow. Let me go back and thank everybody. Thank you, Dr. G, for 20 memberships. If you are still in the chat, if you did get a membership, please make sure you Paul got his, look, there he is, Paul in the middle. Shout out to Paul. He got those numbers. I'm gonna send him an email, see if you want to come on over the weekend, so maybe he can give us some more detail, after having watched this. I'm not a numbers person, so shout out to him. Again, if you did get a membership, thank Dr. G. Dr. G, thank you so much for your generosity. As always, appreciate you, hon. Shout out to Star Wars, Iron Giant. He said Tiff doing her own Watergate. So somebody said that she don't have a passport. Do we know that for a fact? Because honestly, she could be on her way. Allegedly. We don't know anything. But after hearing all that, and that's just the information that they were able to get. They don't even have all of the information. We already knew they didn't have any type of accounting situation that would make sense. That's just, you can just see that. Like, she didn't even want to give up no receipts for anything. And we thought that she was inputting, giving receipts to people. Like, when we travel for our jobs at the expense of the company, we have to present them with physical receipts in order to either be reimbursed or to show and prove so that your ass don't get fired. Shall we figure out a way to get alcohol on the daggone receipts? But that's a different story. Long as you stay under your daily stipend, they was all good in the hood, at least where I used to work anyway. Shout out to Wife Mom 89. Thank you so much, hon. She said, I hope they took Big Tiff's passport, or she's at home packing, clink, clink. She was just out of the country, her and Kamal, celebrating their birthdays or something. They was in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. Not that you need a passport to go there. She might be calling up Russell Simmons. Russ, Russity, Russ, what's up? Isn't Russell in Bali? Where Russell Simmons at? Anybody know? Because he certainly ran on up out of here, child. Shout out to Dane C. Appreciate you, honey. Said Mrs. Hyena Slayer. Hey, wow, 1188 in live viewers. Yes, we had a lot of people here. Shout out to everybody. If you are still here, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Shout out to I Dodge the Trap. I appreciate you, honey. Said Teflon Tiffany finna touch her toes for the COs. And I ain't got a bit of sympathy for her. Sometimes you colors, you like to be giving up sympathy for stuff. I don't. I got no empathy for Tiff, for Keith, for Chris Gonzalez, Jerry Jones, Carmela, whatever her name is. Who else is it? William Moore, the passer. None of them. Don't change up now just because you don't want to go to jail, child. Keep that same energy, as they say. Keep that same energy. No. Everybody, and Keith Freeman. Nope, not a bit of sympathy for you. You was not caring about no daggone body else when you was out there doing your thing, spending $33,000 at Amazon. No, we're not going to sit up here and have empathy and sympathy. I don't care. You do the right thing because you're supposed to do the right thing. That's it. That's all. Shout out to Paul E. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. I'm not buying stock in wig maker. Not buying wig maker stock. Y'all are crazy. I see that summary that keeps coming up too. These summaries are half damn crazy. I never knew that did that before. Viewers in the live chat are discussing Tiffany's lavish spending, including using the $6.1 million grant for the village and spending money on wigs and clothes for her Amazon store. And also they're concerned about the residents who have to live in the same town as Tiffany. so much, hon. I appreciate you. Yeah, it sounds like we knew she was mismanaging and potentially embezzled, allegedly, around 20 million since her appointments. But she was always talking about all these grants that she got. Y'all remember? She always like, I bring in the money. I brought home this amount of grant, this amount of grant, this amount of grant. And I'm like, who the hell is giving all this money to this small ass town? These amounts sound like they should be giving it to damn Chicago, to damn Baltimore, to damn Oakland, not to Dalton. And this is what the town looks like with all, no shade, Dalton, no shade, Thornton Township. But it's like, if she's bringing in all these grants, why the town look like they don't get nothing but $1 grant? Lots of shutdowns. Where Larry at? Anybody find Larry? He want to come talk? I'm here. Tell him to holler at me. Somebody holler at me. I'm still looking for Larry. I'm trying to see if he about to get the boom boom room back, child. Shout out to Ricky Williams. I appreciate you, honey. He said the money they know. Yes, she wasn't even able to get all of the information, which is not a surprise, right? So there's so much more. These numbers could be increased once she gets all of the information. We already knew that they're not keeping great record systems. She started out by saying that they don't even have an assigned person who's supposed to even be handling basically the damn finances. How do you not have anyone? And when whoever they had, they went part-time. How? Now we find out that Big Tiff then locked everybody out again. She'll be saying it's fake news, of course. People can't even get in. She's so damn petty to her own detriment, crashing out. I just checked her Facebook page. She hasn't said anything. I'm on the watch though, y'all. I'm on the watch. This was worse than what I thought. But actually it's worse than what we know. Yeah, Amazon does sell wigs, child. Don't I know it? I know they do. One's coming tomorrow. Don't I know it? That could have been what it was, but there was also Best Buy in there and Wayfair, I believe y'all said was in there, and probably all these other things. And not just her, because if she's giving out credit cards to all the other people, then they could be using whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, and then they don't have to provide any receipts. And I agree, Lori Lightfoot did the damn thing. We're going to give her props. We're going to go ahead and give her props. I was wrong. I can admit it. I was wrong. She did the damn thing. It was worth it. I feel like this should have been done sooner. I think this should have been done sooner, but she definitely did the damn thing. Because how did she get the information, but the trustees couldn't, though? That's a question I have. If anybody has an idea or knows, how was Lori Lightfoot and her team able to go get the information when, do you think like Tiffany just opened up the doorways for her? No. So how was she able to get it and nobody else could is my question. I'm just confused about that. But she came and she got what she needed. They've been dealing with this, I think they said, since 2021. She been selling. She been spending money since then like that. That's crazy. They started out with a surplus and they like negative. I forget the number, like 3 million or something. All right. I think they about to start to take questions. Let me shout out Doncha. Thank you, hon. She said, I'm still in shock at the $500,000 in overtime. Yes. Amassed by Lacey and his buddies. Yes. Yes. The overtime for the police force when they still got unsolved crimes. It's crazy. And people in the police still out there doing whatever the hell it is that they want.
We're still in public comment. Yeah, we still got public comment. Okay, good evening. Good evening. I'll ask for everybody's cooperation, please. Let's say, where's Nikita at? Let's say, if you guys hear me clap once, hear me clap twice. Hey, this thing works. Can we hear me clap 3 times?
They do that in Girl Scouts.
All right, thank you. I love the camaraderie and spirit. We want to reconvene our meeting so that way we can talk about next steps, allow for feedback with the community, and then we can adjourn this meeting. I will say, I want to highlight one step that we've been able to accomplish in the recent weeks is our deputy clerk. In recent weeks, because of some of the diligence of the board, diligence of the clerk's office, with the assistance of our attorneys, we're pleased to announce Deputy Clerk Eris Montgomery is back in the village of Dalton. And I'll ask that she come forward. First Deputy Clerk Montgomery, is she here? I did tell her she was coming. Okay, when she arrives, we'll ask her to step up front and take the rightful seat along with our board members. So we want to make that announcement. Number two, President Cleo Jones had some announcements you wanted to make to the community of progress that is going on. So I'll ask that you join.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you guys for coming out to the Dalton Park District. It was a very orderly meeting. I appreciate you guys. You didn't have to go through no metal detectors. Come here to the park.
The shade.
Yes. So let me tell you guys a little bit, little progress that's going on. First of all, I'd like to thank the Mayor Pro Temp. I'd like to thank the village trustees for all the hard, diligent work they have done. I also like to thank our attorney, Michelle Broughton-Fountain is here. We have our Board of Commissioners, Vice President Gail Towers, is she still here? We have Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Rochelle, and Commissioner Wells, if they both are still here. So the progress that has been made was, we've been working very, very hard to improve our parks throughout the Dalton community. And we've been getting a whole lot of obstructions, getting that done by getting the proper permits put in place to get this done by the village of Dalton. So we finally, after many, many years, after several years, but not several years, but after years of trying to proceed to get permits to get a project started, a reconstruction project started at Blackstone Park, located at 146 in Blackstone. We finally got the permits put in place. Finally. Once again, I thank the trustees for their hard, diligent work on making this happen for us.
All right, move it along. Come on. We gotta go to bed.
Also, clerks, we thank you guys as well. You guys have prior to signing off on this to get this done. We really appreciate you guys. So without further ado, beginning August 1st, which is Monday, Blackstone Park is going under construction. And with that construction, Blackstone Park is going to get a complete renovation. Things like including a walking path, a gazebo, a life-size game table, picnic shelter,
ain't got no money.
Additional parking, a fitness area,
right,
and a brand new playground that's coming there.
Who buying Melanie Fitness?
This is some of the things that, on behalf of our trustees, help us to get done. So we appreciate, on behalf of the Dalton Park District, we appreciate you, the community, who stood up and helped fight the bully to ensure that this is our community, this is our town, and these are the things that we need to get done. You got to understand something. It's not about one person. It's not about one person. It's about all of us. Why will we have to take our kids to Orland Park, Tinley Park to play in their playgrounds when we have our own playgrounds? We're going to continue to build. We're going to continue to build this partnership, and we're going to continue to work with our trustees. We thank them for all they have done, and we appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, President Jones. So just some comments as we talk about this, and it's we have become or maybe remained a town divided over these years. So I want to make sure that we're focusing on what happened only by way of knowing what not to do to repeat our past failures, what we need to do to overcome or put safeguards in places and strengthen policies and procedures. In some cases, in many cases, we've had the policies and procedures on the books and they're just not being followed. But through persistence, and I'm gonna say persistence, not only of this board, but many Dalton residents. So I wanna ask that you give yourselves a round of applause, because without the many people that come in week after meeting after meeting, stating what's going on and saying, as a resident of this community, I'm not happy. And we've been termed in many ways as kind of a ish show and some other expletives that are not favorable. That's not what we want for our community. I do have to say that in any town, when the numbers look that bad, there should be some noise. There should be some outrage. There should be some frustration. To that end, we want to start now working towards resolve. And that's what this meeting is about, is getting to the bottom of what's happening so we can start having our plans moving forward, and we can bring back order to Dalton and order to our finances. With that said, some of the things that we have implemented, we've already implemented credit card freezes. And I think the biggest component of us, and us being the board, us being the residents, us being this community, us being the media, exposing is that it's made anybody leery of taking more missteps in the future. It's gotten the administration and many people in it to give us the cooperation that we've deserved for many, many years. So while I'm frustrated at what it took for us to get here, I'm pleased that we can start to see the end of the road, and you can see things like the Park District getting their permits. We can see that we have a deputy clerk back. We can see business licenses coming back to this community. This board has remained diligent. This community has remained diligent, and we will continue this until we get back to where we deserve. There will be a hiring freeze. The board has already made the announcement that we are going into a hiring freeze that will be voted formally at our next board meeting. And as we see, it's necessary. I don't want to scare employees by saying that there are layoffs needed, but there are tough decisions that have to come when this budget, in this upcoming budget, that we are overdue on approving. So the next big step for us is we want everybody to watch out for the budget process, because it will be coming very quickly. We will make sure it's done transparently and have open discussions, and we will have it with the department managers, so that way we can identify what the cuts mean in terms of service. We will implement a travel policy, which is overdue and much needed. And sometimes you think that things are common sense, and you're like, why should we have to have a policy for it? But so you have to do what you have to do at many moments. And I think it's important that we note, when we have $6.1 million of checks and vendors that are out there, we want all vendors to know that we will be contacting them, and we fully intend on taking care of that debt. And we will be working with them to make sure they are made whole, because they do not deserve to be in this process as well. So with all those things being said, that kind of gives a snippet or overview. We could talk more through it at Tea with the Trustees this Saturday, 9:30, Dalton Park District. So having said that, I'll see if any colleagues on the board have any comments, and if not, we're going to open for public comments. Okay. Hearing none, we're going to open for public comments. We'll ask 3 minutes. After 3 minutes comes, I will do a wave, letting you know that you've hit the 3-minute mark, and we will ask that we conclude at that moment.
That phone be working for Jason Child.
Greetings, everyone. In view of tonight's report, I think one thing is apparent. Since Thornton Township has been used to launder money, commingle funds, and things of that nature, I think it's long time that we start going to their meetings also, and that we start working together, trustees to trustees, citizen to citizen. We have to find a way to rid our village of that malevolent administration that we now live in. So the only way I can see to do that, we have to fight them from every angle, because right now, they go from one entity to the other, doing this, doing that, and even with the great work done by Mayor Lightfoot, they still haven't been able to track down everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for us to thrive, we are the canaries in the coal mine right now. We need to make that apparent to everyone in this South suburban region. It happened to us. She's using you all, he's using that entity to wash the money. It's pretty obvious. And we got to find a way to stop that. And I do have a question. Do any of these things, if proven, does any of this stuff rise to the level of criminal? I don't know who might know that, but that's got to be something. If they can get a guy for stealing $10,000 out of a bank or something, embezzling, this is embezzling on a grand scale. That's pretty much all I have to say right now.
Okay. So I'll give a quick response. We feel that it does rise to the level of criminal. All information received in our report and further reports will be turned over to all authorities relevant to make a final determination.
I'm so accustomed to public comments. So this is to every resident of the Village of Dalton that is here and not here. This is to let you know, this is not fake news. This is real. And to all the residents that seem to think that this is not real, you need to get a copy of this. To all the residents that think, oh, she's doing a great job and she's giving this party and we're going to get hot dogs and they're giving the kids Easter baskets and televisions and CD players and laptops. That's our money. It ain't her money. It's our money. And free 99 ain't always good. So I employ every resident that seems to want to go to every event that she does, stop going.
I was about to say, watch them show
Stop
up.
going.
That'll tell you everything if they show up for the bingo.
Don't support nothing that she's giving. What you need to do is support these individuals up here that's been working for us. And to all the individuals, because it's election time, to all the individuals that want to throw their hat in the ring, or I'm going to run for trustee, or I'm going to run for village clerk. No, these are the individuals that have been working for us. So if you're going to do something, put your money, your support, your time, get out and knock on doors, make telephone calls for Clerk Keith, for Jason House as mayor, for Brittany Norwood to retain her seat as trustee, for Kiana Belcher, who always have the receipts, to continue her job as our village trustee. That's what the Village of Dalton residents need to do. This is real. It ain't fake, and they ain't fake either.
Greetings, residents. Former trustee Edward Steve, to the media, to the cameras, to the YouTubers, we've been known for these chaotic board meetings over the last few months.
Shout out to us.
They think that's all Dalton is. Look how smooth this meeting was today. Look how calm, professional. That's not what Dalton is. This is what Dalton is. So when y'all see this news media and when y'all see how special, how smooth this meeting went, know that this is Dalton. The other meetings is not Dalton. This is Dalton. I want to say also, it's for years, they've been saying every meeting, they don't want to pay these people. Pay the people, pay the people. How come Stan Brown ain't here today?
Woo! I told you.
Saying, pay the people, pay
That's
the people.
right.
And we've been saying, no, they don't have the money. So now it's vindication when you sit there and get berated over and over again, and people come to you and say, how come you don't pay the people? Why are you holding up the vendors? This shows you that she's been lying the whole damn time.
Child,
the whole damn time. So I thank y'all. I thank you, trustees, and Clean House 2025.
Take a sip on calling out Stan, child. Glad somebody did it. Y'all want to sit up here and act like he on your
Good
side.
evening, everyone.
He's not.
I've got two questions and a comment. We love you guys. This is our future, but don't forget Ed Steve. My question number one is, how many people in this audience are not
registered to vote?
Registered to vote.
Oh, come on, coloreds. Come on, coloreds.
How many people in this audience know someone who is not registered to vote?
Oh, come on, coloreds.
Well, it's obvious they're out here. We're all registered, and I guarantee you we don't all vote. We need to change that. We have people who have signed up and they're now deputy registers. If you know someone, reach out to the trustees, reach out to us. We will make sure that's done. But stop sitting at home. You go to the clubs, you go to church, you go to store, you go wherever you want to go in the winter. Go to the polls.
Good evening.
Hey, girl.
Everyone.
Hey, girl.
Good evening to the trustees and everyone here.
I prepared a speech. I'm a little nervous, but I wanted to say my piece today. So I want to start by expressing my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you. And as a resident of Dalton, I've been a resident of Dalton for the past 3 years. I live here with my husband and my 5 children.
Ooh,
Many of you know me, some of you don't. But I've been here for, like I said, for 3 years, and I'm also a new business owner here. So I felt truly welcomed by this community, and that's the thanks to the incredible support I received from all of you, and also from the trustees and clerk, you as well. So I can't express enough how much that your help has meant to me, especially when I was facing my own personal challenges. You were there when I needed someone to turn to, and that support made all of the difference to me. So I'm so thankful to each and every one of you for standing by me, particularly when others, including Mayor Tiffany Henyard, was not available to offer me assistance.
I know you lying.
So living and working in Dalton has been an eye-opening experience for me. While there's been so much potential and so many wonderful people in this town, I've also seen the challenges that we face. And I hope to have worked closely with Mayor Henyard, but someone from my own generation, to uplift and empower women like myself in our community. And it's heartbreaking to say that instead, I've been confronted with troubling rumors, well, not rumors anymore, facts, of corruption and dishonesty. It's disheartening to hear the truth and about the expenditures and scams associated with Tiffany Mayor Henyard's tenure here as mayor. And it's not the reality I wish to find in the town that I've come to care about. So I want to thank you and the trustees, all of you have supported me. I'm honored to be a part of this community, and I look forward to working together with all of you to make Dalton a better place for everyone. Thank you.
And I'm proud. That's nice. Who knows her? Uh-oh. Who knows her? Anybody know her? That's it.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, girl.
Right now, I am in limbo as far as my living situation.
Girl, move.
And I was kind of undecided as to whether I wanted to reside in Dalton. But now that all of this information has come out and I see how much the trustees love the residents and this village, I think this is going to be my home. So I'm going to be a Daltonier. That's all I want to say, and I love you guys. You know, I love you guys. Thank you.
Girl, good luck to you.
Good evening, residents.
After hearing all that, you should want to move.
I've been a resident here in Dalton for 16 years.
Oh.
And when I look at the situation and everything that's going on, I can just honestly say I'm just so disgusted with what is going on in this village. And I want to encourage the voters, because I've come to the point that I don't just vote because you're just black.
Ooh,
we have to start doing our due diligence and start researching the people that we actually cast our votes for.
Girl.
We can no longer just take handouts and because you're my favorite or because I like you. We have to literally start doing our research. And for those of you that voted for Tiffany, I'm just going to honestly say it. You might not like me. You just didn't do your research. I mean, you can honestly look at this chick and see that there was an issue and that there was a problem. I mean, when you do your research, you see, I mean, if you got a person with a criminal background, who in their right mind would have put her in position? So I say to you all, do your due diligence and just stop voting for people because they're black. We have to do our research. And if a lot of you all had done your research, a lot of this stuff would have been avoided. That's all I'm going to have to say.
They don't like that, girl. Girl, watch out when you leave, child. Leave first, child. Leave first. She right, though. Tell him. Truth is hard to hear. It's a fact.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Brewer.
Hi,
and you know, I moved here in September 2019.
Girl, move
and
out.
I thought, no, it was a nice village at the time I moved here. It's really ironic with all the stuff that's happening, and I just bought my house. It was nice. I couldn't just sell it and move somewhere else. So I am so very glad that we are getting to the point where we're getting this taken care of. because it would be a shame for me, somebody who just moved into the village, to have to move out because of things that are happening. And what I'm also asking for is transparency. When I first moved here, I can go on the website, I can see what all the trustees were doing, and it was easy. Now it's like it's hard because I have to follow your website and some other places. And sometimes some of the activities that you put on, we don't even know about because they're not placed anywhere for us to see. So I'm looking forward to having the website be more transparent, having the trustees' information. And also, when we do public comment, we don't get, we used to be able to get some feedback, so those things, please bring them back. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. Shout out to me, Ma. Yeah, girl.
I want to thank everybody. We're going to be adjourning. So I think Trustee Belcher have a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn,
I
child.
hear the motion. A second. Clerk Key, please roll call.
All right, y'all. It's basically over. I knocked my sound machine out, so I don't have anything but shout out to Lori Lightfoot and her information, and the trustees for finally getting this up and out and to us, because they didn't have to do this publicly, but they know that this is the best way to get the information out. Oh, I am still just mouth wide open still, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. We got to do the aftermath of this. Probably not until Sunday. I got a busy weekend, but I'll definitely put out some videos, child. Thank you all for hanging out, for being here for this mess. I'm still just floored. Not surprised, but seeing the numbers just makes it like, wow. Just wow. Wow. Anyway. I give them props for at least getting this far. Shout out to the trustees for doing the damn thing. Tiffany, I'm on Tiff Watch. If y'all see anything from her, let me know. Send me an email, make a comment, something. Cause ain't no way that she's sitting at home snug as a bug in the rug. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to everybody that donated. I think a couple more super chats came through. I'm sorry. I probably it probably went by. I apologize. I didn't want to interrupt because I know y'all get upset about that. Shout out to TQS. Appreciate you. He said I'd be staying at home while these gremlins stay gremlinizing. Listen. Oh yeah, they're done. You know the gremlins is about to go back to school, child. The gremlins is about to go back to school, child. Shout out to Doncha. Thank you so much, hon. Where do we stand on Andrew Holmes Bueller? Andrew was out at the chicken shack earlier yesterday. He is not sick. He did not have a heart attack because he was out there eating chicken, child. So Jedediah said that he is taking Phinia to Las Vegas as they work on the case out there. And I really don't know. That's all I got on that. So since that happened in Vegas, it's being investigated in Vegas. So that's up to them to make the decisions on what the heck is going to happen as far as that's concerned. That she's not going to put him out. That's her only ally. And Stan not showing up today says a lot. As far as I'm concerned, it really does say a lot. As they want to be like, oh, look at Stan. No, stop this. Stop this. Shout out to Redman Tomahawk. Thank you so much, honey. He said no such thing as a free lunch. Ain't nothing free. Hell, the air you breathe is barely free, child. Barely. Shout out to TQS. Thank you, honey. He said, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the what? Where the money reside. I knocked it out or else I would play it. But thank you so much. I'll make sure that I play it next time we go live. Shout out to the Seattle Black veteran. Shout out to you, hon. Appreciate you always, always, always. He said, Tiff the GOAT, the greatest of all times in Dalton. She just wants to update her mugshot. That's all. After all this, she deserves a great mugshot, okay? Take that ass to jail. I agree. Do not show up at any of her events. Get this message out. Get those numbers out. Show them this video tonight. All that. Because I'm telling you, if they end up, the next time she has an event, what is it? Avant and whoever I said, Mary or something like that, supposed to be coming out. Let me go ahead and see if a bunch of people show up. We'll see if she really does have the village adulting or not, meaning mostly the elderly, and getting the free is more important than anything. I got an eye on Tiff. I got an eye on Tiff. So if y'all see anything, make sure you let me know. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to about 1,200 people tonight, child. I ain't never seen it before. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate you. Please hit the like button if you have not. Thank you so much to everyone that donated. Shout out to Dr. G. Always, always, always again, the stream sponsor. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you all. I will see you all in the next one.